Good afternoon. I hope you're enjoying the AVEVA world so far. This is probably one of the last sessions, and I need to make sure that you're all awake and listening to me. I'm going to ask you questions. My name is Nagesh Nama. I am the CEO of xLM Continuous Intelligence. We develop agentic AI apps very specific to GXP manufacturing. That's what we do. Validation, temperature mapping, environmental monitoring, predictive maintenance, predictive analytics, and a few more. Today's presentation is all about AVEVA Connect and how we are partnered with AVEVA, especially the Connect team, to embed continuous validation into the product itself or into the product lifecycle itself. So this is the journey that started between me and Todd Brown, and we spoke about it in Paris in 2024 and also in San Francisco in 2025. So this conversation has lasted almost 2 years, and I am personally involved in this project, very determined to bring the next generation validation into the Connect platform. Unfortunately, Todd could not make it, so I am the lone soldier holding the fort. Why this matters now, my professional career started in validation, and you can see I don't have any hair left. So I think I got very bored. Maybe I lost my hair in the process. I need to change that. It's been over 30 years for me, and I've done all kinds of projects all over the world. And 10 years ago, my journey started with continuous intelligence or continuous validation, and AI put it on a different track altogether. So we completely reinvented our platform, and we are here today. I'm very excited to talk about it. You'll see the demo also. It's something that very few in the world are doing, like what we are doing. We're leveraging AI to make it happen. Otherwise, a platform like Connect, I'm talking about the platform validation, it cannot happen if you do a traditional manual validation. It really matters now because you guys are all here, right? You want to adopt AVEVA products, AVEVA Connect, and that's what I'll be talking about. And we want to make it easy. So how can that be done? And that's the conversation that started 2 years ago. And we have made some progress, and I'll be talking about it, and I'll take any questions at the end of my presentation. It's just not a presentation. I'll talk about it for about maybe 15 minutes. Then I have a 10-minute video. I'll walk you through how it might look, and then I can open it up for questions. I think for manufacturing, the AVEVA Connect offers really a good platform, in my opinion. There are very few competitors here, and I understand the roadmap thoroughly now, and I know where they're headed. So it's a large team building this complex product, complex platform that can hopefully make it very easy for manufacturing organizations to bring all the data together and do all the analysis from design, build, and operate. That's the vision they have. And I see that also because I've worked in manufacturing for over 30 years. It's a mess. It's really a mess. And this is a general comment, When it comes to the adoption gap, what regulated customers need less manual work and more intelligence, and not worry about GDP issues and things of that nature, or very subjective validation that's done day in and day out. That is the core problem when it comes to validation, and that cannot scale with a platform like Connect, which is they imagine pushing out updates every day. So if that is the cadence, this traditional model will not scale. But how are we going to validate Connect? So one approach is by bringing in a partner like xLM. We give you something good that you can leverage off. So you don't have to start from scratch, but obviously you need to do your own instance validation to make it very easy for you. So you can take a risk-based approach, focus on how the data is used, what are the use cases? Is it just monitoring? Is it workflow and alerts management? Is it maybe even a real-time release? So you need to figure that out. But based on that, you can design your validation, not worry about the platform, the features, but worry about your end use cases and your own data. So that's the premise this partnership is built on. So we came up with a 6-phase approach. I propose a 6-phase approach to take from what the conversation was had in 2024 to where we want to when 2.0 is completely released. So the 6 phases had these 4 work streams: assess, remediate, baseline, and certify and sustain. Assess is xLM independently assess their products, understand the impact of 21 CFR Part 11, Annex 11, now Annex 22 and more, and come up with the remediations, meaning if there are some things missing, we need to propose to the engineering team, the R&D team to incorporate that. Could be audit trails, could be signatures, could be more, and develop a baseline product validation. So that will validate not just a baseline product, but eventually every patch, every release in near real time. So that's the vision we started with. And we had come up with this 6-phase approach. The first one is, if you look at the first one, is for xLM to completely audit their design, their development, their maintenance of the infrastructure, how that works, the entire Connect lifecycle, how that's done, and does it stand the scrutiny of GXPs. So they gave xLM full access, and that's almost complete now. We have audited, assessed all the different parts of the Connect organization. And the second one is review of every Connect module from a GXP point of view and identify any remediations that might be needed. And thirdly, develop our own requirements inventory, meaning every module we need to independently develop the requirements inventory that's independent of the Connect team. Also create validation environment so that we can validate these requirements. Then we develop, the plan is to develop, some of it is already done, a continuous validation test suite that can establish that all the requirements have been met with live traceability. Then talk to the customers like yourself to kind of let them know what this is all about. This is not like a show and tell, just something that a paper exercise. It's definitely not that. So that this is world-class implementation, and especially if xLM is brought on board, it's our name is at stake too. So we will be putting our stamp on everything that we do with AVEVA, and we would like to communicate that so the pharma companies can leverage that and decide what else they need to do from their side, and also have this ongoing certification. It just doesn't end with baseline is done, we walk away. No, this is going to be a real time, all the time, continuous validation. So where are we today? All this is fine. Where are we today? Phase 1, almost complete. The detailed reviews have been completed. The draft report is also ready. That needs to be approved by AVEVA. So that's pretty close to be wrapping up. Phase 2, reviewing of the Connect modules, that's in progress. The reason that's been slowed down a little bit is their 2.0 is not completely done. They are still working on 2.0, and we need to kind of keep up with them. Once they are done, and we will be completing that aspect or that module. And phase 3 is definitely planned, meaning that is working with the team to do some of the remediation work. So that will also happen. They'll go hand in hand. And phase 4, developing our own automation suite based on continuous intelligence platform. That's started. You'll see some of the demos today, but that's also an ongoing process, So it won't be parallel. Phase 2, 3, and 4, that's going to be in parallel. So what is so different about xLM continuous validation? I'm not going to talk about traditional, but everybody knows. Here, we want to bring in the concept of continuous. The idea is that in their architecture, the last step before the software hits the production platform is pre-production. So they have many, many layers like dev, test, integration, pre-production, production. So the last step is pre-production. That's when the bifurcation happens. There'll be potentially 2 pre-production instances. One is for AVEVA, their own engineering team. They have their own tests that they do. Independently, xLM will also do their own tests with 100% regression. So then we have to reconcile the test results, and then after the reconciliation happens, it'll hit the prod. So any failures have to be reconciled, and and make sure that we have a root cause, and everything has to pass. So that's the architecture. That's our continuous validation. All the artifacts will be generated by our own AI platform, and I will show you some of that with human in the loop, of course. And all the test cases will be automated with evidence capture. That includes screenshots, any reports, API calls, all that will be automatically captured and cataloged with human in the loop for review and approval, and a living traceability will be maintained. Automatically, our platform will constantly maintain if the test cases or requirements change and there are no test cases, we will know, because it's an ongoing process. It's not a static traceability. Then ongoing monitoring will be done with any patches, bug releases, new new versions. We will make sure that our stack will stay in good shape. So just to talk about the approach we are taking also, one is we will do definitely, the idea is to do all the features will be tested, all the critical features will be tested, let me put it that way, at the platform level. And then we will set up a xLM pharma, meaning a hypothetical pharma use case. Like if you look at their bench right now, you'll find Wintopia and a few other data sets already there in their platform. Similarly, we'll create a XLM Pharma hypothetical company, and we will do some end-to-end UAT test cases also. That could be in dashboards, alerts, workflows, and predictive workflows where it will predict, and we will test that with machine learning. If machine learning models are employed, then the final thing will be to do a real-time EBR also. So the level of testing will vary, one being the strictest and 5 being the lowest in terms of severity. But everything will be tested. So that's the plan. This is on top of what AVEVA is already doing, which we have full access to. How they build it, how they test it, and how they do the release management. So this will be completely independent on top of what they're already doing. So these are some of the validation artifacts that we are planning. We'll have our own plan and a CSA strategy. We'll develop our own specifications. We will have our access and role specification for our XLM instance, and we will have an inventory of requirements and traceability matrix that is living, and boatload of test scripts that's completely automated, and it will be executed also, not just once, multiple times, since it's 100% regression. And we'll have a reconciliation process for periodic review, deviations, and recertification. So that's what's planned right now. This will come with the Connect 2.0 validation package. This is the demo you'll be seeing. You will see URS being generated, test plan being generated, and also test case being executed. There's not much to see. The reason is the bots are doing everything, but still we'll have a demo. Since the time was not enough, I couldn't incorporate the TM, the validation plan. All that is also there as part of our platform. Why should you really care, what XLM is doing with AVEVA? The idea is we need to help you adopt AVEVA Connect 2.0 platform much faster than before. So you should be able to leverage whatever XLM is doing. Otherwise, really, there's no point in us spending all this effort. And you could potentially reuse some of the baseline artifacts that we'll be developing for this project. We will provide you with all the artifacts via a portal so that you can use that for your own risk-based approach and leverage what XLM is doing. And ultimately, speed and lower cost. We want to make sure that your cost of ownership in terms of validation is much lower. I think it's definitely, at least the way we are planning, it is, at least I have not seen. I worked with many, many software companies in my life, brand name companies, and nobody has really succeeded in giving a very comprehensive package. Like, for example, ServiceNow, I mean, they're big. So Honeywell, companies like this, still this is much more ambitious than what XLM has done with other big vendors. So that way you can benefit. I mean, hopefully that will happen in the next few months to a year. The future state will look like this. We will guarantee 100% regression once the baseline is established with 2.0, and there'll be a deviation handshake with the engineering team and AVEVA's, and we will have an agreement with AVEVA in terms of the governance cadence also. Like, we also will play a part in their release process. And also every module will be certified by us and the platform will be certified by us. Call to action for you guys is going to be, to maybe have a lighthouse projects if you have, so that you can also leverage continuous validation in your own instance, for example. That's outside of AVEVA scope. And have a good discussion, open dialogue as to whether this is enough, or do you have any other ideas that we can incorporate at this stage to make it easier for you. That's the ask here. I will stop now. I have the demo, then I'll take the questions after the demo. It's about a 10-minute video. There is no audio since I'm here. I'll be providing you with the commentary. So first you'll see the URS generation, how our platform works. So right now you're looking at our platform. So it's a chat-based interface right now. It asks you for a very basic questions and it can generate. The model already knows about AVEVA Connect in particular, so that it already knows what Connect is all about. So you can define the scope of your URS and what needs to be done, and putting basic information like document number and things like that. All this is configurable based on the customer needs. We can automatically generate that. Here the scope has been pasted and saying this is the scope that you should look at for the URS generation. And you can upload any additional information like user manuals, anything, project notes, meeting minutes, videos, handwritten notes. We support many, many formats, multimodal. It'll take all that just to make sure that this is customized for the end customer. That's the idea of this platform. Once that is done, the agent will start generating, and you'll see on the right panel, it gives you information about what's going on with the URS generation. It's a ticket system, and the end of it within a few minutes, maybe sometimes it takes 30 minutes, you'll see a document like that, which you can edit it. So If we are doing all the service, my QA team will do that. They'll review it and make some changes. Or customer like yourself can do that. It clearly includes the scope, what's within scope, what's out of scope. Even the acronyms are generated based on the context. References are included, and the verbosity also can be controlled. This is not verbose. We can make it more verbose. We can add workflow figures. All that can be done by the agent. It's just a configuration. And that's about it. So based on what was given here, and the model is grounded in GXP. So it knows what is 21 CFR Part 11, what is Annex 11, what are the audit trail requirements, all that is baked into it. So you'll get a nice URS like this, which makes it much easier to maintain it or regenerate it, edit it. And you can also make changes to the already approved URS also. So that's what you're seeing here. And this can be adapted to any customer's format. That's not an issue. Each customer has their own format. But this will be customized or custom configured for Connect also. I mean, this might take, if I start from scratch, a good engineer might take maybe 2 or 3 days to generate, making sure that it's 90 plus complete. But this takes maybe 10 minutes, in some cases 30 minutes, depending on the complexity. So next, it's a test case generation. We have 3 modes. One is auto. It will generate automatically the test cases based on the requirements, provided it knows about the software. The model is trained. Otherwise, you can upload a video of the test case that you would like to write a test plan about, or we have like a walkthrough recorder. You keep clicking and doing things, it will automatically record, and everything will be in English. The output is always in English. It's not code that it generates. So in this case, a video will be uploaded for the use case, just to show you that that's a possibility. And all it needs is a video. It will analyze it frame by frame and figure out what needs to be tested. That's the intelligence that we have built in. And that's what my engineer is doing right now, is upload the video of a Connect use case. And then once it's uploaded, it does a test case for you in a few minutes. Could be 15, 20 minutes or a little bit more if the video is a little bit larger. It goes frame by frame, understands both the audio and the video to come up with a test case. And you'll see that at the end of it, it's going to be in a Word format. You can edit it too, because that will be the input into the next agent, which will execute it. But there's no code involved. It's all in English per your format, and it will do it. So we are really removing the human element very to approval and reviews, and giving some basic information. The more specific information you give, the better the quality is going to be of the deliverable. And everything is audit trailed. Whatever the bot does is audit trailed, and it's part of the ticket, and that's traceable. And you'll see on the left side all the tickets that's been executed, and this is what you will get at the end of it. So for your record, right, for my validation compliance point of view. So in this case, it's a very simple test case for the demo, but this could be 500 steps. Doesn't matter. It just takes more time. That's it. That's being fed into the next agent, and the agent, once it looks at the test case, a pipeline is set up in the background in the cloud, and the pipeline gets the exact code that needs to execute it, and it figures out every step. It reads the step, it figures out how to execute it. The code is written on the fly to execute that and capture the evidence. The screenshot, evidence is taken, screenshot is analyzed also, but you can't see that. It's all happening in the cloud. So once you tell the bot what to do, it does it. It records the video also. It gives you not just the executed protocol, it gives you a session video, so that's also kept for the evidence point of view. And it also gives you the log of what the agent is thinking, like how the thought process was, how it executed it. A detailed log is also maintained. So these 3 pieces are given to you, so you can review it and get that approved. That's what you will see here, once all the questions are answered. And the best part is it's not limited to web-based applications. It can handle, you'll see that, I think, whether if you observed it, there's one thing called Web Voyager, that's only for web apps. Desk Voyager, which is for anything, web app, Windows applications, desktop applications, mobile applications. It can handle all of them on the fly and test it. So we would struggle before this technology was designed by us, maintaining all the automated test scripts, was a challenge. But now no code is written. Once the protocol is set, that's it. That's the input into the agent, and agent does everything. It could be a simple use case, a complicated use case, and it's not a problem. You'll see that here. Even it can navigate the knowledge graph and analyze the knowledge graph and assert the values. It can do all of that. Or look at a graph, for example, like a human, and analyze it. So this is the output that comes. Output number 1. Output number 2 is the video. Output number 3 is the log file. So this will be typically a locked PDF. That way it can be digitally signed, and it will have, and everything, nothing was given to it except the test plan. Everything was generated by the agent here, including the actual results, what values it asserted, what screenshot. Every screenshot is taken, so there's no questions asked in terms of the integrity of the information that's captured. So, and if you want to screenshot at every step, we can do it. Or if you want to turn it off, in the test plan only, you can mention it, which steps you need the screenshot. So the flexibility is there. But it can assert, it can look at that screenshot and analyze what's there. And it can even navigate. If you see that, that's the knowledge graph or the object model, the asset objects, and it can navigate that and assert certain values. So that intelligence is there. And this is not model trained specifically on this one. Our model can be used on any software. It can execute it. SCADA, web-based, browser-based applications, like TraceLink, Viva, ServiceNow. It can do all of that without any pre-training. It can do it. So that's what you're seeing here. So this way we can keep up with the scale of Connect. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to keep up with the scale of Connect. We'll be slowing them down dramatically. So I don't know how many steps this one had, but it can also look at right now, the step is to look at the graph and validate the graph. How do I know that the graph is accurate? So it can do just like a human will do. It look at the values, it can analyze it. So that's pretty much concludes my presentation. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks for your time.